Hi everyone, your exam is over. Some of you have performed very well in the exam, some of you were not able to perform up to the mark. But deep inside the heart, we all have a dream, and that is to crack the exam with flying colors. If we have not performed well, there is a thought that is killing us, and that is where I am and where I want to go. This is killing us. How I will cover that distance? So in this video, I will talk about where you are and where you want to be, how you can cover that distance. So without wasting much of our time, now let us try to see my perspective that how you can cover this distance of where you are and where you want to be. What is a difference? So before I will start, I will tell you a story. I'll tell you a story of two brothers. Now these two brothers were born to an alcoholic father. After few years, one of the brother became a very successful businessman and the second brother became an alcoholic. When the brother who became a businessman, he was asked how and why you became such a successful businessman, he said, my father was an alcoholic. And when the other brother was asked that why and how you became an alcoholic, do you know what was his answer? His answer was also that my father was an alcoholic. So, what do I want to tell you? It's all about the perspective. It's all about how you manage your time. So, from the person who is not able to achieve anything to a person who has reached to the pinnacle of success, the only and the only thing that differs and that differentiate these two is how you manage your time. I have seen two aspects of my life when I was not able to achieve anything, and today, when whatever I try to do, I am able to get to that target. I feel the only thing that I have learned in last so many years is how to manage my time very well. So in this video, we will try to talk about that if you are aiming for a great success in the exam, how you can manage your time. So when I am saying manage your time well, my idea of managing your time is don't kill your time. So if you want to achieve success, I want you to do three things. Just these three things. And if you can do these three things, I am absolutely confident that you will be able to reach to where you want to be. Now, what are these three things? Point number one, stop thinking about that you will not be able to reach to the place where you want to be. You have to develop that particular confidence that yes, you will reach to that area. Why? Because it is so simple, you do not have an option. You do not have an option and you have to reach to that point. This is point number one. Point number two, make a schedule that how you will reach to that time. And third, stop killing your time. Now, when I am saying killing your time, that means try not to waste your time on the things which are not productive. From the time, whatever that is left, every action that you are doing should be focused on only one thing, that is it taking you to your goal that you are aiming at? Is it taking you to a goal that you are aiming at? If you are watching this video, just ask yourself, is it taking you to the goal that you are aiming at? If your answer is no, don't watch this video. If your answer is yes, then watch this video. If you are watching a movie onto the Netflix, please ask yourself, is it taking you to your goal? If your answer is no, cut it down. If you are spending time with your friends, if you are spending time on discussing Indian politics, just ask yourself that discussing this Indian politics is taking you towards your goal. If the answer is no, don't do that. Whatever that you are doing from now onwards should be focused on only and the only one thing, and that is it should be able to take you towards your goal. So we have discussed three important points. First, believe on yourself that yes, you will be able to cover this distance. Second, you have to maintain your schedule. And the third, you have to stop killing your time. Now let's talk about the point number two. what is an ideal schedule, how you have to maintain that schedule. So now what's a schedule? Now for a schedule, there are a lot of things on which it is dependent. So there is no ideal schedule. Now this schedule is again for those students who are unable to make their own schedule. If you have already created your schedule, do not look at it. If I have to prepare for the exam, I will see what is my exact target, how far is the exam. So let us consider that the exam is 200 days away. Exam is 200 days away. So what I am going to do is I am going to divide my this time into two components, 150 days and 50 days. Now, what I am doing is in this 150 days, I am going to read all the subjects in detail, and these 50 days have to be for the revision. If my exam is 300 days away, then I have a much liberal approach, and then I am going to divide it into 200 days and 100 days. So that is totally dependent on at what level that you are starting your preparation, and that is why we say that earlier you start, the better it is, because you're going to get more time to do the first reading and more time to revise. However, if you do not have that much time, you have to consolidate. Now, if I have 200 days, I will divide my schedule into 150 days and 50 days. In these 150 days, I will try to cover almost everything that I have to do. And in these 150 days, there are priorities. Please remember, every competitive exam has a priority. There is no limit on to the things that you can read. If you will come into this FOMO, you have to have at least 3 to 4 years to prepare ideally for any competitive exam. But since we do not have this much time, we will not come into this feeling of FOMO. We will go with a priority. Now, what is a priority? The priority is in every competitive exam, we all are aware that 20% of the topics cater to 80% of the questions, and 80% of the topic cater to 20% of the questions. So what are these 20% of the topics? A smart student knows these 20% of the topic. A smart teacher knows these 20% of the topics, and that is the whole game about any competitive exam. So if I am at your place, what I am going to do is I will identify these priorities. And what is my priority? My priority is first previously asked topics. That is my first priority. Any topic that has been asked in any of the previous exam in the last 5 and the 7 year become the first priority topic. The second priority topic is common updates. Common updates. Common updates means a current trend, like in the today's scenario it is COVID, or there are new guidelines that have come up. Government has issued some new guidelines in community medicine or public health. Some new programs have been launched. Some new guidelines have been come for the treatment. Some new investigations have been introduced. There has been a major research that has come up. Some new medical prizes or the Nobel prizes that have been given. Those are common updates. So this is first priority. You are not allowed to miss any of this. If you are missing any of this, you are running backward in this race, and if you are running backward in the race, you cannot win this race. Irrespective from where you are reading, this is something that you have to do. You have to do without a doubt. So this is your first priority. Till the time you are not able to complete this, till the time you cannot answer this even in your sleep, my request to you is please do not move forward. Please do not move forward before going on to this. If you are able to do this, then move to the next part. And how you will do that? You have to divide them into individual subjects. If I am talking about a PG entrance exam, we know there are 19 subjects. So now divide your reading into these 19 subjects in a way that you are covering the important previous year topics of each subject. A lot of people ask me at this stage, sir, now the paper patterns are being changed. We have to read about the disease wise. You also keep on talking about you have to read about the disease wise, but that is later in the course of your preparation, not in the first day. In the first day, you have to read the subject wise because you have to build up your basic knowledge of that particular subject, and that will never be developed if you will read disease wise. First, you will have to develop your knowledge topic wise, subject wise, and once that knowledge is complete, only then you have to go to the second part, which is the disease wise knowledge. So you will divide your time, as you have 150 days, you're going to divide it from anatomy, physiology, biochemistry, patho, micro, pharma, ENT, ophthalmology. According to that, you're going to divide your topics, you depending on the importance of that particular subject, depending on how much you know that subject from your pre-existing knowledge. But this is something that is must. If your pre-existing knowledge is good and you think that whatever time that you've allocated to that particular subject, you can read more than this, then only you should think about reading from somewhere else. Now, whenever you attend any classes, majority of time the focus of classes is to take care of this part without a doubt. Irrespective of the platform where you are reading, I am telling you, every faculty tries to cover this part first. Now, there are some faculties which go one level up and try to cover more, but please remember that is not bad. I will not say that that is bad, but the first thing is that for every student, the first focus should be to cover these topics, because if you miss any of this topic to cover a topic which is less important, this is a disaster. Now that totally depends on your grasping power, that totally depends on how much is your pre-existing knowledge, and then you can move forward. Obviously, if you have a craving to get a much better rank, you have to read more, and there is no limit onto the things that you can read. But first thing that you have to cover, I can assure you that your majority of the content is covered. Now, those who have appeared for the exam this year will realize that majority of the time what you feel in the exam are the questions familiar, but you are unable to answer them, and then what you label as a silly mistake, and then you are cursing yourself. Actually, you should not curse yourself. Why you should not curse yourself is because you got deviated so much during your preparation time that you have read so much of non-useful stuff, you have read so much of less important stuff, that your important stuff get mixed with that non-important stuff, and as a result of which you are not able to study. So the whole concept of success is this topic, and these topics should not be compromised at any cost. If you are enrolled with any live classes, be it a face-to-face classes or a live classes, you can blindly trust on those classes for these topics, because my personal experience with that, if a teacher is teaching you in a live class, they will make sure that they are covering this, and then it does not matter with which platform that you are associated with, these are being covered without a doubt. When you are not being associated with any of the live classes, then also these are covered. It is not like that these are not covered, but because there is no time boundation, we try to cover some extra stuff in that. Now that is not bad, but that minimizes the importance of these, and sometimes students are unable to identify which is important and which is less important. Then that is the biggest challenge. So my suggestion to all of you is that those who are not able to identify what is important and what is not important, so focus on this. If you can do it yourself, that is the best thing. If you cannot do it yourself, trust blindly on your teacher, and then it does not matter whether it is me or whether it is somebody else. It does not matter at all. What matters is this. If you still cannot do that, and if you still want to focus on to the recorded lecture, you can still do that. But if you cannot focus it, find a mentor. Find a mentor who can guide you, who can identify that what you have to do, and then follow that mentor again religiously. I have seen it over a period of time. If you get a guide who is there for you, who's there to keep you on track, I am very sure that you will be able to reach to the epitome of the success that you're looking at. We tried that in a 40-day course at DBMCI, and the results were very encouraging. So I will suggest you that identify that where you are and where you want to be. Just see that how you can cover that particular distance. You can definitely do that. Stop getting those negative feelings in your mind that you will not be able to do that. Stop killing your time. Identify your schedule. Make your own schedule that is best. If you cannot make it, do let us know. We will try our level best to keep you on track, to mentor you during your entire preparation, and I'm very, very sure you can reach to that part, you can reach to that time, so that you don't become an alcoholic because your father is alcoholic. Rather, you take that necessary step so that you become very, very successful in the life. Take care and all the best.